Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today is August 31st, 2015. I'm your host, the Truth Buster. I want to thank you for joining on Truth Buster TV. Well, we've had a lot of significant events that have happened over the last week. And now we're at the breaking point of beginning of September. Tomorrow's the 1st. And the series of events that have been forecasted over the last few months and weeks are coming to a head. I can't tell you what will or will not unfold for this month. But what I can tell you that it is a critical point in our history. And it's going to change it forever. Just a quick breakdown of some of the forecasted events that are going to happen. One, this blood moon is going to occur this month in the sept cycle. Two, you have CERN going to be fired once again at full power of 13.3 TeV. And then you have the Pope coming for the UN summit in Chicago. And not only that, what I want to get into now is another UN summit in New York. And that is the 2030 agenda. Now, I glanced over and read most of what the Sustainable Development article says on their webpage. And what I gather from it is total authoritarianism, total totalitarianism, and every other evil action upon humanity you could think of. But what I want to do is connect the dot. You know how the elite and the Illuminati use predictive programming through TV, news, and other media sources. One perfect example of the 2030 agenda that has shown its face through film would be the Hunger Games and in the Insurgent series, where they have this plan to end all of our issues collectively, to break us down into groups and different communities. And things of those nature. But what I have in front of me now is an article that I printed off a few days ago from All News Pipeline, and it's titled, "This is what happens in September 2015 that will change our life forever. UN Agenda, New World Order, UN 2030 Agenda, the New World Order goes live. The goal of the New World Order, one world leader, one world government, one world currency, and a one world religion." Many of us have seen in the headlines referring to September 15, with everything from dreams and visions of the apocalypse to an asteroid hit to total financial collapse. But predictions that specify dates when circumstances are not within the human realm of control rarely play out as predictive, which is why date setting is a non-starter all around. Well, that makes sense. It's not good to set a date for an event because it could happen after the proposed date is forecasted or before. With all that said, there are very real events happening in September. If you go to Sequel's website and their index, PHP is the URL. From the Pope speaking to the U.S. Congress for the first time to the fourth blood moon slated for September 28th. The Shemitah cycle and the scheduled ending of the controversial military exercise dubbed as Jade Helm, just to name a few. But it's been told that Jade Helm's going to go until November. But with all the hype surrounding September 2015 date, there's one specific item that seems to have fallen through the cracks, and it's a scheduled event that has the potential to change all our lives forever. From the 25th to the 27th of 15, at a major conference in New York, the UN is launching the 2030 Agenda. And you could go to the website and just for UN.org and look up the document yourself. Sustainable Development /Development Agenda. Hailed as a new universal agenda for humanity. The UN is now in the process of defining sustainable development goals as a part of new sustainable development agenda that must finish the job and leave no one behind. This agenda is to be launched at the Sustainable Development Summit in September 2015 and is currently being discussed at the UN General Assembly, where member states and civil society are making contributions to that agenda. And when you visit the UN website and look at the article heading up the fact, we see the following: 2015 is a year when countries will shape and adopt a new development agenda that will build on the Millennium Development Goals. Via the Sustainable Development PDF, we see that the title of the document listed as Transforming Our World, the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, targets all which sounds good on paper, but Michael Snyder of End of the American Dream, and you can go to his website, type in the URL AmericanDream.com, archives in September 2015 and Agenda 21 will be transformed into the 2030 Agenda. Scrutiny gets to the heart of the matter where he states the following. Many of these sound good on paper. After all, who wouldn't want to end poverty or halt biodiversity loss? But as you read through that list, ask yourself, what forms of human activity would be excluded from it? Personally, I've had a hard time coming up with much of anything. As I discussed earlier this week, the globalists want to use the development as an excuse to micromanage the lives of every man, woman, and child on the globe. We are told that individual liberty and freedom are dangerous because when everyone just runs out around doing whatever they want, it is bad for the planet. That is not that's complete BS and untrue in every way you could think of. For example, one of the goals of the Sustainable Development crowd is to push the human population into giant megacities and to allow nature to recapture much of what has already been settled by humanity. And when I mentioned a few minutes ago, go watch Hunger Games, Divergent and Insurgent, especially Divergent. This speaks 1,000 words of the 2030 Agenda, that film alone. Divergent is the 2030 Agenda. so to speak. Welcome to the New World Order. That phrase that mainstream media still considers a conspiracy theory, despite dozens of high-profile world leaders and politicians openly talking about it, from 37 quotes from these leaders. The New World Order is not a conspiracy theory. It is very real. It's an agenda that has been acknowledged openly for decades. And still, people have wave it away as a fringe belief. Yet if you listen to the statements made above on the YouTube video that's in the article, the 2030 agenda meant to control the world and implement their one world government. KJ from the Scariest Movie Ever YouTube channel delves into the 2030 agenda in the video below, breaking it down, showing how this NWO acceleration will change all of our lives forever. So, this summit conference is the one that the Pope is going to be attending. And then he's going to announce here on our soil the one world government. And that is in biblical prophecy. Look at the book of Revelation, where they talk about the one world government, one world currency, all the above. You need to get ready. Myself included, which I have been doing so, I need to ramp up the pace. Yes, I have faith in God, and I rely on Him. But it's still scary. It's still these events that are going to unfold are still a scary, revelating fact. So I hope that I'm coming across and you listen to what I read and take it seriously. We only have a few weeks. They could collapse that propped up market between now and December. That is the prediction. Or they could hold it off to early 2016. I've seen a few videos saying that they're going to hold it off, push it back, push it back, push it back. But it's only a matter of time, because the Fed has pumped so much money into it again, once again. And it's going to pop. So who knows if we will be around long enough to the year 2030. I hope and pray we will be, but I don't know. I can't give you that. But what I can give you is that Jesus Christ is the way in life, the way, the truth, and He can set you free. That's all I have for now. I want to thank you for tuning in. Get ready now. Do what you can. God bless and be safe.